is this with the talent?
Yeah, they're, for the most part, their lineup is going to be undersized. It's going to be 4 guards. Van Soik is their power forward, is a guy that is a terrific three-point shooter. And we've got other teams in our league that play with the 4-guard lineup. But with Van Soik and with Brenton Scott, moving around on that three-point line, guys that are capable of making 5, 6, 7 of them in a game, that's a challenge for what you want to do, what you need to do defensively. And then Rickman, came on in our game and played great in our game and has played good since. And he really hadn't played much before our game. And so we're going to have to figure out, and not totally unlike Wichita State with the lineup they're playing now with McDuffie at the 4, where you've got 4 guys that can either really shoot it, or a combination of guys that shoot it and can drive it. And so you get more of that in our league than you don't. Not many teams. When Wichita goes big, they can go big at the 4 and the 5. But more often than not in our league, it's going to be somewhat of a 4-guard lineup.
Jumping ahead a little bit, I know they're struggling a little bit now, not fully healthy, but getting a team like Illinois State in the last game of the regular season, maybe in a home environment, how beneficial do you think that will be going into the tournament?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a real benefit to be playing the Wichita State last Saturday, Illinois State coming up Saturday, having those games toward the end of the season. Because as I talked about, we learned a lot on Saturday, and that's good for us as we go ahead into the last week, and then obviously the next week heading down to St. Louis. And Indiana State has played very well in their last 5 games. So we're going to get the same thing against Indiana State in terms of being tested and finding some more out about where we're at in some key areas. So we're going to get in all 3 of these games. And I like that. I like playing these teams and these games at this point in the season.
Outside of rebounding, anything else coming out of that game with 1 week to go that you really want to try and get better at here in the?
That's the key one, and that one has to change. Or like I said, we're going to find ourselves in a tough spot Wednesday or Saturday or Friday. One or all 3 of them, if that doesn't change. The other one from the Wichita State game, though, Gary, was some things that really hadn't popped up in the previous couple weeks. Just some Jeremy Fowler, a jump shooter. Jeremy's been with us almost 4 years, and he's heard me each and every day, each and every year say, don't do that. So there was probably a half a dozen of those things that really hadn't popped up. And I think you can attribute that to that place being sold out. We are playing really good basketball. Jeremy and Clint want to get us off to a good start. I think that there was that combination of factors. Those guys got ahead of themselves a little bit, and they made some mistakes. Better to learn that now than Wednesday or Saturday or next Friday. So in some ways, glad that we went through it so that those guys could be in that position as our best players. And so outside of rebounding, there's some other things we got to get a little sharper on. But the ones from Saturday were ones that we really hadn't seen much of. I think those guys were just trying to do just a little too much. They just got ahead of themselves a little bit, and it hurt us on some possessions at both ends early in that game.
The shooting woes of those 3 with action